Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and the AFI project is alive with the sound of music. This was directed by Robert Wise, the man who directed West Side Story and won an Oscar for it, and it starred Julia Andrews and Christopher Plummer. This movie, I came to find out, was based on the book The Story of the Von Trapp Family Singers, written by Maria Von Trapp. And this movie is a movie adaptation of the Broadway musical, which was created by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein II. It tells the story of, a woman named Maria, played by Julie Andrews. She is a novitiate, meaning that she is training to become a nun of the Catholic Church. However, her heart is too wild and free for the church, but she is still faithful. So the Reverend Mother says, "You're going to be a governess for the Von Trapp family." The Von Trapp family is a big deal in that part of Austria, and so she goes and she becomes a governess for there, which basically means she takes care of all 7 Von Trapp children. And the family is ruled with an iron fist by Captain Von Trapp, played by Christopher Plummer. And while their relationship starts out to be pretty rocky, soon Maria and the captain eventually fall in love and get married. And all this is happening while the rise of Nazism is happening in Germany and eventually Austria. Not only is this musical one of the most successful musicals of all time, it was the Best Picture of 1965, and it netted Robert Wise yet another Oscar for Best Director. Not only is this one of the most successful musicals of all time, it's one of my favorite movies. I have seen The Sound of Music so many times, it's not even funny. I can repeat it to you, from memory, every single scene. And keep in mind that The Sound of Music is 3 hours long, so that says everything you need to know right there. And if I had to point out a golden age of musicals, I would have to say that The Sound of Music was smack dab in the middle of it. From the early 60s to the early 70s is when the hotbed was happening. If I think of something like an epic musical, I either think of West Side Story or The Sound of Music, and they're both directed by the same guy, so Robert Wise is subtly one of the GOATs. But rewatching The Sound of Music this time around, I tried to put all of my nostalgia for it aside and just come at it from just an analytical perspective to see if this movie is as good as I remember it being. And not only is it as good, it's better. Firstly, it can't be a musical without some songs, and the songs in this movie are just unbelievably good. You get to know every single character in this movie through the songs, and that's how musicals are supposed to work. The songs that are very well known, like the opening song, "The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music," and "Doe a Deer, a Female Deer," and "Edelweiss," they're all excellent. Even the smaller songs, like "How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria," it just fills in every character point that you would want to know in the songs. And I think that's impressive. If I had to have a top 5 songs in The Sound of Music, I think I'd have to go with the opening number, "The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music," "Doe a Deer, a Female Deer," when the kids sing "The Hills Are Alive" and Christopher Plummer finally breaks and sings along with them. I'll talk more about that later. Let's see. "Climb Every Mountain," which is just, I get goosebumps every time I hear that. And then the final Edelweiss performed by Christopher Plummer, which is just a tearjerker, but more on that in a little bit. This movie came out at the height of Julie Andrews' star power. I think Mary Poppins came out around this time or a little bit later after The Sound of Music, and this was just at a point where she could do no wrong. You see her progression throughout the movie, and it's played out through the songs and through the dialogue, and it's one of the better examples of this in not just musicals, but in movies, period, and in my opinion. She starts out at the beginning, and she's an incredibly free spirit. She believes in God, and she believes in the church, and she wants to be faithful in that regard, but she knows that her heart is elsewhere. And most importantly, the Reverend Mother knows this. And when Maria is initially assigned to the Von Trapps, she's very unsure about it, but she's going to try her best anyway. In another great song, "I Have Confidence." And then when she encounters Captain Von Trapp, who, when we see him at the start of the movie, is about as cold as a banker's heart, it creates immediate conflict and a yin-yang dynamic between the two. And we later learn through personal tragedies, I won't go too deep into it in case you all haven't seen it, see it, that's what I'll say. But the captain pretty much sheltered himself off from any form of happiness, like he is in full captain mode 25/8/366. Until the point where he hears his kids singing, and then he joins in, and I'm not doing it justice, it's just a phenomenal scene, and he starts singing along, and the kids are singing with him, and it's beautiful. And you come to find out that if you chip away at his exterior, you'll find that he's a man like everyone else. He had to deal with trauma in his own way. That goes double for my favorite scene in the movie, when he sings Edelweiss for the final time. It's a heartbreaking scene because he knows, and most importantly, everyone in that audience knows that he is going to be singing that song in Austria for the final time, because if he doesn't join the Nazis, then the Nazis are conceivably going to kill him and his entire family. In the words of Paul Heyman, he is not in a no-win situation, he is in a must-lose situation. Like, seriously guys, I could talk about The Sound of Music for days, but I'll just put the period at the end of the sentence right here and now. If you have not seen The Sound of Music, I mean, my God, like, go out of your way to see it, because even though it is just a skosh over 3 hours long, it is well worth it. Like I said, if there is an epic musical out there, I would think it would be either West Side Story or The Sound of Music. But that is all from me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Next time on the AFI Project, we're going to be taking yet another hard left into the world of monster movies, and the argument could be made that without this movie, movies as we know them today wouldn't be possible. It's from 1933, and it is King Kong. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts on The Sound of Music in the comments down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.